And with that, for the first session, may I request Mr. Sukanta Dey to please make a presentation on what are the issues which are involved as far as the rollout is concerned. Mr. Sukanta Dey.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The agenda is very tough, especially when one is talking to experts who are sitting in front of me. So I'm going to make it very simple and general and start with a little bit of how the evolution of 5G, how we came where we are, why 5G is needed at all, and what are the potential technologies which can make it happen or is making it happen already. So the agenda will basically cover the evolution, why we need 5G. There are 5 favorite technologies which 5G pundits are kind of working on, implementing. Some places they've implemented. What is the hardware, software in brief, what it is, the features, the advantages, applications, summing up, and a peep into the future in relevance to India. So we know we all started this journey in the 80s. It took actually 10 to 15 years based on an analog system with a simple speed of 2.5 kbps. The US launched what was known as the 1G simple analog mobile phone. This is how a mobile phone looked like. All of us have, or some of us have used it at that point in time. This was an analog phone. It could only transmit voice. Then the major leap came in 2G, where it was developed in the 80s and completed in the 90s. It was based on a completely different system. We moved away from the analog to the digital. Speeds went up, like 2.4 to 64. It's 30 times type of thing, And the service, the first time you could send data, you could send messages. So SMS came into being. And it was a semi-global facility. A lot of countries had roaming and some didn't have. And the 2G handsets, some of them are being used today in the rural areas in India, etc., which later on becomes 2.5G, which has slightly more capabilities than 2G. Then came 3G, which was again another big leap from 2G. And the fundamental difference was that the 3G in your hands was like an internet in your hands. It's like a mini laptop in your hands. So it was, again, it took about a good 10 years plus to meet it. Speeds jumped to 2 Mbps, far superior voice quality. You could do video conferencing, and you had the internet in your hands. So this was really the game changer, because you can do everything walking around wherever you are going. And it had actual global seamless roaming that came into it. Then everybody would remember that BlackBerry, it was to be a big premium business phone. Now, of course, it's extinct. Then came 4G, and with 4G, which was developed about 10 years odd back, and speeds went up, very high performance, very easy roaming, low costs. What 4G did, how it was different from 3G was, it really developed the speed. We started galloping, and we knew we were ahead of something which we are today calling 5G. The 4G screens, you could see movies, you could still able to understand one another, which means their conversation to take half as long as their next discussion could start sooner, etc. So to achieve full duplex in personal devices, researchers must design a circuit that can route incoming and outgoing signals so that they don't collide while an antenna is transmitting and receiving data at the same time, simultaneously. This is especially hard because of the tendency of radio waves to travel both forward and backward on the same frequency, principle known as reciprocity. But recently, experts have assembled silicon transistors that act like high-speed switches to halt the backward roll of these waves, enabling them to transmit and receive signals on the same frequency at the same time. One drawback of full duplex is that also creates more signal interference through a pesky echo. When a transmitter emits a signal, that signal is much closer to the device antenna and therefore more powerful than any signal it receives. Expecting an antenna to both speak and listen at the same time is possible only with special echo cancelling technology, which leads into another technology which I will not go into. There are many, many. But these are the 5 fundamental technologies, which is the core and the secret sauce and heart of the 5G. So this would be what a basic architecture of the future phones may look like. It will have your download buttons on the top, and circling it will be your sensors, which is IoT primarily, TV, cameras, entertainment, mobile management, GPS, radio, mobile office, VOP, etc. So the hardware will be an ultra-wideband networks with a higher bandwidth. Bandwidth will be 400 Mbps, which is 400 times faster than the wireless. Use a smart antenna, as we discussed a little in the earlier technologies. Use CDMA code division, multiple access. In the software, it will be a single unified standard of different wireless networks, including LAN technologies, WAN, worldwide wireless web, unified IP, seamless combination, and broadband. And software-defined, it will be completely software-defined networks at the radio level, encryption, flexibility, antivirus, etc. So what are the outcomes? After doing all this, what will you get? Real and seamless wireless world with no more limitations with access on zones, wearable devices, IPv6 where visiting care of an mobile IP address is assigned according to location and connected network. Something we do, what we are doing currently in roaming, but it'll be far more advanced than that. One, because it's based on the internet. It's going through the internet, not our roaming normal voice things. One unified global standard, smart radio. The user can simultaneously be connected with several wireless access technologies, multiple concurrent data transfer paths. So all this is what will be the result of 5G. So, and the features, high resolution and heavy cell phones, bidirection, large bandwidth, less traffic, 25 Mbps connectivity speed, enhanced and available connectivity for nearly the whole world, uploading and downloading speed of 5G touching peaks up to 1 Gbps. And that's what everybody's really looking forward to. Applications are many, but 5G will primarily drive and add a completely new dimension to the fourth industrial revolution which India and the world is going through. Whether it's robotics, augmented reality, virtual reality, Internet of Things, connected devices, automated cars, 5G will be the centerpiece driving its speed and accurate implementation. Without 5G, the fourth industrial revolution will not actually take shape in its true sense. 5G will dramatically impact the acceleration of use of artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain technologies in their relevant fields. To sum up, therefore, we started with voice, which was analog, and 2G we had voice and data. We moved from the analog to the digital. The 3G was we all of us had an internet in our hands, and it was operator-centric. And 4G was service-centric. 5G will be user-centric. The proposition is to have a 5G wireless concept designed on an open platform, much like why the Android system works so well and it's developing so far, as an open platform on different layers. The new 5G technologies, some of which we discussed, the 5 secret sauce, should be available in the market affordable rates with scalable and versatile architecture. The architecture, because there's so much of expense, the architecture has to be scalable and versatile. And finally, a peep into the future. While we're going into a completely new world, security will be a whole new dimension in the 5G. Whether it is individual security, security of data, security of networks, security of all things to come will completely change with 5G, with the 5G revolution ahead. Privacy and ever-evolving norms of the 5G framework. Already we are having so much of contest on privacy, and that will become even more complex as we move towards in 5G. The management of cyber crimes, already we have, it's only a small things which are hearing now and then, but it will completely change because everything, all the assets, which is my next, the creation of virtual assets. Right now you have a physical asset, you have a house, so it is taxed or whatever. So there will be many more virtual assets than physical assets. What will be the legislation around the virtual assets as 5G keeps driving the virtual assets? What will be the ownership patterns? What will be the taxation of virtual assets? Rural India will be primarily for India as netizens will start more, we'll find more netizens there, and they're getting more and more on the 5G as they see the user experience so good. Right now the user experience is not good, so they hesitate to come, they use it very sparingly. They will use it more and more. Multilingual content, which is again an India-specific thing, and consumption of it anytime, anywhere, will be another big game changer when 5G comes in. And the impact on e-governance, health, education, consumption of goods and services, and the list is endless. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.